We talk with interesting people. We talk about the things they're interested in. And if you're not too careful at the end, you might just learn something. Today we will talk about love and romance and the effect it has on one's health and the effect that health can have on romance. You kind of get the drift here? Yeah. And we'll also talk about maybe some ways to spice things up for Valentine's Day, or as you probably listen to this a little after Valentine's Day. And from someone who says that she and her company are trying to make Valentine's Day just more than one day and make it maybe more of a year-round thing, which shouldn't that be the way with love and romance and all that stuff? Anyway, but we'll start off with talking about love and your health and showing your heart some love. Valentine's Day is here or just passed. Love, decadent chocolate, champagne toast, candlelit dinners, all that stuff. But it's also Heart Health Month, which focuses on the health of your heart. But the two do not have to be mutually exclusive. Love can be good for the heart in more ways than one. There is the new Heart Health Survey by the Cleveland Clinic, and some very interesting findings in that. And we talked about it with Christine Jealous, Dr. Christine Jealous, who is a staff cardiologist with the Cleveland Clinic. The Cleveland Clinic's 2020 Heart Health Survey. Tell me about it. What was the Cleveland Clinic looking to find out this year?
Well, we were looking to find out about relationships, and I know Valentine's Day is very topical for this, and we wanted to see if relationships impact heart disease both in a positive way but also in a negative way.
Okay. So
we were looking to sort of tease out whether people can motivate each other, I guess, to be their best self, to try and optimize some of those cardiac risk factors, and whether that can lead to sort of ongoing benefits, I guess, both for the relationship but also for the person and their health as they start getting older.
Mm-hmm. And what did you find out? What did the survey tell you?
Yeah, so we did find that improving heart health in the setting of supportive relationships is really important, and we found that people who have heart attacks do better if they are in a committed relationship. We find that men in particular do better if they're in a committed relationship. They seem to be more motivated to take better care of themselves and their families. Some of that, I think, is that men tend to be more focused on one particular supportive partner, whereas women perhaps are equally motivated, but they may have more people that they're motivated for. So they may be motivated for children or for elderly parents that they're taking care of. So I don't think it matters who the person is in that relationship. It's just the fact that by having supportive partners, friends, even a pet, someone that's going to motivate you to get up out of bed, exercise, eat well, and look after your health. That's what's the most important.
Some reason, in other words, some reason to keep on living, in other words, I suppose is a good way to put it, huh?
It's true, and I think it's just as important to be aware of the fact that people in relationships can have negative influences.
I was just going to go into that, yes.
If you've got a partner, for example, who just wants to eat pizza on the couch, well, maybe you're going to be more likely to not adhere to a good diet. Or if you've got a partner that's a smoker and you're wanting to quit, I think you're much less likely to have success if the people around you are not being supportive.
So how do you break free of that? How can you mitigate the negative aspects of that and stay in a heart-healthy situation on your own if your partner isn't going along?
Yeah, I think it's a really difficult situation, and I think if we use Valentine's Day as a motivating factor, perhaps we all just need to realize that we have to be there. We have to be the cheerleader for our partner or our friend to make sure that they do the right thing. And sometimes that's not easy. If you've got a friend that needs to lose some weight or kick a bad habit, it's not always easy to confront them about that. But I think being mindful of the sometimes the conflict that can cause, but to let the person know that you're doing it with their best interest at heart, because you really want to take care of them and ensure that you're going to have a long, happy, healthy life together, I guess, is the idea.
Mm-hmm. Right. What about for those who aren't in a relationship? What does that mean for them?
Well, I think there's lots of different types of relationships, and just because someone's not in a romantic relationship doesn't mean that they can't have a platonic relationship that's equally as supportive, or even having a pet. It doesn't really matter. It's just a motivating factor to get you up out of off the couch, out there exercising. Taking a dog for a walk, for example, is a great excuse to get out and get moving. Or even volunteering, doing something in the community that is going to have you finding your niche and an area that you're going to be helping other people, so you want to stay happy and healthy yourself. I think reaching out to the culinary community is fantastic, because we know there's so many advantages towards eating well, and that may actually help people make friendships or even find relationships just by reaching out, going to cooking classes, or doing some exercise programs, dancing, lots of different things that people can do to get moving and get healthy, and it might actually have the flow-on effect of being able to meet someone.
What about those who have been loved and lost, as we say? Is there a connection between heart disease or heartbreak and heart disease? Can somebody actually die of a broken heart?
It's a great question, and I think there's so many Hollywood movies that have been made with that theme. But reassuringly for your listeners, we don't really think people can die for a broken heart. Strong emotions can certainly impact on heart disease, can contribute to high blood pressure, or even cause things like palpitations or arrhythmias, but it's very rare that people can have significant impact on their heart function. Occasionally, there is a syndrome called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy that can occur in the setting of extreme stress, but it's very rare, and typically we do not see broken heart syndrome when people are dealing with a relationship breakdown. I think it's important, though, in the setting of a relationship breakdown, people may have chest pain or shortness of breath, which sort of unmasks underlying cardiac disease that was probably already there. And so obviously people need to treat that on its own merits and to seek out assistance, whether it be calling the ambulance or seeking a physician review, to make sure that they don't have underlying heart disease that they're only just now becoming aware of. So
then let's put this in another aspect. If somebody has been in a relationship that is now over, really maybe the first thing they should be paying attention to is their health and making sure that they stay healthy, and maybe that's a good way of recovering from it.
I think you're absolutely right, and we know that about 90% of cardiac risk factors are controllable. So that means only 10% are genetic. So that 90% we can give people a focus in the setting perhaps of a relationship breakdown, that they can modify 90% of things that are going to do themselves harm from a cardiovascular perspective. So that might be quitting smoking, reducing weight, improving diet, reducing blood pressure, optimizing cholesterol, all those things that they can focus on and perhaps help them get through that relationship breakdown. It's also a great way to meet people, joining the gym, as I said, going to a cooking class, or just different ways of reaching out there to change the focus of their life and perhaps focus on their own heart health, I should say, so that they've got some good things to look forward to in the future.
Yeah, here we are at Valentine's Day, and couples want to do things. I'm thinking of some of the things that they can do that we can talk about here, like exercise, go out and things like that that are healthy for their hearts. There are plenty of ways that they can celebrate Valentine's Day and do themselves some good.
Absolutely, and I think one way, and if we think about diet, the Mediterranean diet, which is lots of fresh fruits, vegetables, a bit of fish and poultry, but not too much dairy or red meat. I'm just picturing a couple sitting at home with all those healthy ingredients, cooking a meal together, perhaps sharing a glass of red wine, and then maybe letting the evening flow on, going out dancing or something like that. It could be a really special night for a couple, and I think starting out with that sort of healthy philosophy has got to be good, and I think we're all about romance on Valentine's Day, and you just want to make sure everyone has a lovely evening.
Dr. Jealous, I know I'm coming up on time here. Were there any surprises in this survey for you? Anything that caught you that you didn't expect?
Yeah, look, I really thought that people would be more aware of the risk for heart disease in women. Most people, though, said they thought the highest cause of death in women was breast cancer, when actually it's still heart disease. Mm-hmm. So I think that really lets me know that we need to message both to women and to men that they really need to try and concentrate on healthy heart living and optimizing those cardiac risk factors, because hopefully by doing that we can turn around some of these statistics and reduce the risks of heart disease in women as well as men. Is the Heart Health Survey available online? Yeah, we've got some great information. If your listeners go to clevelandclinic.org/loveyourheart, there's some wonderful links and some additional information which I'm sure they'll enjoy reading. There you go. Dr. Christine Jealous with the Cleveland Clinic. I thank you for some time out. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Happy Heart Health Month to you, too. Thank you, Ken. You too. Thanks for having me. Dr. Christine Jealous, staff cardiologist with the Cleveland Clinic. If you want to know more, go to Cleveland Clinic and on the web, and you can find the details of that survey, Heart Health Survey. Very interesting results. 7 in 10 in the committed relationship agree their partner encourages to adopt healthy habits for their heart. And those in a committed relationship report they sometimes are often cooking healthy dinners together, 67%, and going dancing together, 26%. Interesting, but it also swings the other way. And if you want to know more, again, go to the Cleveland Clinic website. You can find the details of the Heart Health Survey there. Conversation Collage on your favorite podcast platform, and also on Facebook at Conversation Collage Podcast, also on Instagram at Conversation Collage Podcast. Check us out on all of those. Like us, rate us, review us on your podcast platforms. We'd appreciate it. Tell your friends. That's important. And just keep downloading and listening every week or whenever we put these up. We hope you enjoy them. All right, and get in touch with us. We'd love to find out what you think. Valentine's Day is changing as people find new ways to connect with their lovers. Now, flowers and chocolate, always the traditional gifts. Diamonds are forever. Cards always say what you want them to say. But for all its fuzzy, feel-good vibes, Valentine's Day itself, the holiday, has not kept pace with cultural change. And we talked with Barbara Cook, who is president of the Lovers family of stores. And this is a company that was founded by females, and it is operated by females, and it is a far cry from what you might consider in an adult store. This is not a commercial for them, but we do talk about some ideas and the ways to make romantic gestures and why times are changing. And so we talked about all of this with Barbara Cook with the Lovers family of stores.
Hello, Ken. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ms. Cook.
You're not going to believe this, but I'm actually in Seattle.
Really? Now, that's not home base. Is that home base for you?
Yes, it is. That's where our brand is centered. We were born and bred here 40 years ago, so yeah, this is very much home base.
I will come over and visit you.
We would love that. We would love that. Come and talk to our staff. That would be great.
Love to meet you too. So that'll be great. That'll be great. What brought you to Lovers? Because you've had great success in other companies, the Gap, Starbucks, things like that. What got you to Lovers?
Really, the opportunity to really defibrillate an industry. I passionately believe that love is a very important part of our lives, and we are healthier, better human beings for having a positive, healthy, loving attitude to life, and ideally in a loving relationship. And I can see an opportunity in what I consider to be a very lazy sector to come in and defibrillate it and make it as open as the change in conversation around love has evolved. So if you look at how let's take Valentine's Day as the example, sure. And I don't know if you're going to start record. Tell me when you're going to start recording.
I'm actually recording. I'm actually recording right now, but we'll edit this out. So That'll be
okay.
fine.
So Valentine's Day is a great example of something that has been around for a very long time and probably hasn't changed much in yours and my lifetime, Ken. It's the red envelopes for that special card, the flowers,
the chocolates,
and the candy, and and that's kind of it. Whereas the whole